Alright, so we got some good news in today's video, but it's not news we haven't known about. To be fair, we've known about this pretty much since day one, considering how they've been handling everything. But they're going to be giving out 3,000 extra cubes for everyone to just claim on December 24th, as that is exactly when it happened in the anime. And I mean, it's a pretty nice little Christmas gift for us to get. And I mean, hey, people are gonna probably need this. I know a lot of people who are chilling at about 200 to 210 pity on Utah, and with this it might push you over the edge to probably be able to get them if you're like about 30 to 40 pulls away. And I mean, listen, it's a nice multi. It's definitely a nice multi, especially for people who are saving, which should be most. I really hope you guys have pulled Utah already. If you haven't, I mean, listen, I've already repped for starting an account strong and not like going to the 200 pity, because or else you'd be kind of dried out with cubes. But if you are in that boat, unfortunate. But if you are able to save, then this is great, especially with the news we got last night about Sukuna, which I'm going to talk a bit about in this video too, just to kind of give a little recap. But besides that, there's also going to be limited time missions, which are going to start December 24th. But it doesn't say when exactly, well, what's like the exact time frame for that. But I feel like those missions, like overall, are going to be like okay-ish, I guess. Maybe they're going to be similar to like memo missions, or sorry, that's the login. Sorry, memo. Yeah, where are they? Do we have any to show? Maybe it's going to be similar to the JJK 0 ones. These gave 900, which if we get an extra 900 extra, I mean, listen, it's basically, it's just about chipping, like giving in chip cubes, right? That's essentially it. So if they give at least 900, I'll call it a mini W in my books, as long as they continue it. I would really like to get an extra like 10k cubes a month if they're going to continue like this. Comparatively, I'm not talking about events. I just mean extra that was not present, extra currency that was not present on JP. Now, as for when you could claim this, it's going to be December 24th. And if we check in game for Utah, right, we'll be able to see like Utah ends on the 25th, right, which the 25th at 3 p.m. Okay, and in the same time zone, it starts basically what 13 whoa, I don't know, because it says 12 a.m. the 24th, so my mind is like blanking, but I feel like you should have at least 12 hours, right? Probably closer to 15. So I'd log in if you really need to do that last multi. Well, you'll be able to at least use it on this guaranteed, okay, which is actually pretty good overall. But one thing to talk about is now we finished all of November, all of December, all of January, and in February, all we're missing is Kamo and his event. All right, so we're really getting through it, bro. It's kind of crazy to think about just how far we've gotten, and it's definitely not exactly a good thing. It's been 6 weeks and we've went through, well, we'll say basically almost 3 complete months in 6 weeks, which is kind of crazy to think about. We've basically been 2 times quicker than them, but it's about to get even quicker considering we've got 3 more banners coming out. 3, bro, like it's kind of insane to think about. So more info, right? On the 23rd, we should also be getting another banner. So we get this, but then the day before, we should get a new banner, unless that's not what's happening. But it should be. It really should be. I mean, if we check that is not it. If we check here, we should technically be getting Kamo. And I mean, that would be extra cubes for you guys to get, a good 3,000. But if not, then we might get Story. But if they release Story, they might release the Powerful Enemy Battle. So I really do think that we're probably going to we're going to finish off February in my guess, either on the 23rd or the 27th. And then we're going to get into March's content, and that's going to be pretty simple. There's literally 2 things that come out in March. So, like, we could literally get to April if we get, let's say, if we get Kamo the 23rd, then we get the Story update the 27th, right? And then we get Mecha Maru the 31st. We're literally in April in fucking January, bro. Which is kind of crazy. Also, I find it funny. I just realized April 1st, they literally released the worst SSR unit on April Fools. I mean, that must be a joke, right? They had to have planned that on purpose. There's absolutely no way. Now, next up, as for cubes, I'm going to make a more proper video, but I'd like to talk a bit about this because I've had people ask me this, and it's more, who do you really summon for? But this is going to get us into Sukuna a bit, right? And it's really going to depend a bit on Sukuna, right? What color is he and all that. But overall, the two people that people are trying to go for, or like considering, is Toji and Gojo. I mean, guaranteed everyone's going for Domain Gojo, but it's basically between these two. And all things considered, I feel like Yellow Gojo's the better pick, but I know people are going to want a Toji. It's probably going to be one of the only Tojis we get until Shibuya. They could for sure do another Toji in Shibuya, but that Toji's probably going to be at least 6 months to maybe even a year later. So it's definitely not going to be for a while we get the next Toji. But then Gojo, he's just good. Like, he's so good, right? So I definitely say that between these two, like, I'll probably make a full breakdown video of what to do in what situation, like who to go for. But I would definitely say that this Gojo is probably way better to go for, because the thing is with Red Toji also is that he is being sandwiched between Yuta and then Domain Gojo. And considering how we're going to get to Toji probably in February, then that does mean that Gojo probably is going to be in like March or April, right? So when you consider that, I mean, they're not that far off. So I would definitely not go for both. And I'd probably say, especially if you do have Yuta, because he even got buffed. And the buff does put him very close to Toji. Obviously, I do believe personally, this is a personal opinion, that Toji is better. But Domain Gojo with Yuta should be able to clear pretty much anything anyway. So it doesn't really matter for that. But then Yellow Gojo, the thing is with Yellow is that there's no one outright going crazy, but obviously in terms of min-maxing, you could say, okay, I'm gonna get Red Gojo with Yuji, but the thing is, like, you'd have to wait a while also to get Yuji, right? Where it's like for Red you at least have Yuta. So there's a lot of things to consider, but I would definitely say Gojo, especially just for his AoE and being able to stay alive. Many people are gonna want this Gojo, and he is basically just right now probably has the highest damage capabilities, so gotta keep that in mind. If he was able to be ran with Domain Gojo, which you can't, but I'm just saying, in this scenario, right, this Yellow Gojo would probably be able to easily pass probably like 15 million damage dealt, is my guess, which is kind of crazy to think about. But yeah, besides that, there's not really much more to say on this. But as for Sukuna, I would like to talk about him in this video, because it's like we're talking about getting more cubes, and then like Sukuna is one of the next units to, well, next hype units to come out, I should say. And there's a couple things we have to realize. That number one, he might actually not be a limited unit, but there was someone, I think it was Demi, who told me that like they said there was going to be 4 limited units for anniversary. So if we talk about this, we got Yuji, Gojo, then we got Miguel. So this could be considered the 4th limited unit that won't return after their banner's over until another rerun of the banner, but not on standard, right? So for example, we have Hollow Purple on standard, but it's possible the Sukuna doesn't come to standard. But personally, as he is the first Sukuna, and we should be getting probably like 2 or 3 more this year, just going off of it. Like they did a year of Gojo, now we're in Sukuna's year. Probably next year, the year after that's probably going to be Yuta's year. It's kind of funny to think about. We're just going to go in order, right, of the like hypest units. But Sukuna is definitely doing numbers. Let's just say that. He's doing numbers, right? So I could definitely see them not making him a standard unit. But if he's limited, there's something to consider. Like, we are basically 2 for 2 for limited units. Besides, Miguel's okay. He basically is going to get better depending on the content and if there's units that he could remove and shorten their buffs. But for Sukuna, right, he should be a limited unit, but I also kind of expect him maybe to be non-limited. But because of what Demi saw, that there was 4 limited units around anniversary time, then it would make sense for him to be just super busted due to that, because Red Gojo and Yuji are busted, right? And it's Sukuna, right? It's also Sukuna, so keep that in mind. I definitely think if you're saving for Sukuna, that's fine, but you also have to remember there's going to be more Sukuna. So let's say it's too close to like Domain Gojo for you, then that is fine, right? Now there's also something else to consider, is that they might release Sukuna before Domain Gojo and Yuji, purely off the fact that Domain Gojo and Yuji are anniversary units, and we have to keep that in mind too, just to throw it out there. But also, it's what color do you need, because Sukuna is either going to be blue or green, and we're going to find that out in 10-ish days. So I think that's also something important to consider, is like, what color are you looking for? And in 10 days, you'll be able to decide if you need to save for him or not, okay? I mean, he should be, in my opinion, top 3 easily. We're all guessing he's going to be the #1 damage dealer. Like, Gojo does good damage, but it's a bit of a different situation than all these other units on how he does damage. But I think Sukuna could easily plot himself right next to Domain Gojo in the damage tier. And if so, then I mean, he's definitely someone worth saving for. but depending on his color, it's going to change a lot of things. Like if he's green, then some people are for sure going to be pissed that they summoned on holo purple, but I feel like I said don't summon for holo purple, but it is up to you at the end of the day if you want like 10 Gojos. But I mean, I think it was pretty obvious we were getting Sukuna. I mean, listen, I'm going to flex a little bit. I'm going to flex a bit. So, you know, I was right anyway. But I don't know if he's going to be blue. Personally, I think it could happen, but I've already explained why I either believe blue or green, so I don't really need to go too much into that. But overall, there's like 4 or 5 units you should be, or 3 actually. The main units to really save for in my eyes is Domain Gojo, Yellow Gojo, and then also Toji, right? I would also now include Sukuna in that pack, so there's, I'd say, 4 units in the next probably 6 to 8 months that you're going to want to get. So I hope the JJK gods bless you with luck there. But overall, just a cool little update we're getting. But we should probably get Kamo on the 23rd, which would mean we'll get a good amount of pulls in a short amount of time frame, right? A good 2 to 3 multis in the next 3 days could be nice. But it's going to depend. I don't know if they're going to do that, but I mean, they might. Like, why not full send, right? They're already so deep into this shit. Like, they got, what, how many events? Like, bro, it's too many events. Deadass. Hold on. How many is it? I didn't, fuck. Am I not able to click on the events and show them all at once? Like, I feel actually stupid right now. Is it, bro? Oh, here it is. Yeah, okay. It's just crazy seeing how many there are. And I just hate it feels overwhelming almost. It really does. I'm not going to lie. It feels extremely overwhelming to see that much. But I digress on that point. Anyway, right now, what you guys should be doing really is just saving your cubes for any of the units I really talked about in this video. And just grinding up, right? Grinding. I think that's the best thing you could do. And you'll be safe, right? I really do think that we are blessed to have the 2 times AP, because on JP, one of the things that's the worst is the AP grind, to where I have to basically use daily cubes to get extra AP. But here, we're chilling. Like, I feel really safe with everything I have. Like, my characters, I haven't been going too crazy because I've been playing more JP, but the ones I want are pretty high level, right? And when you consider I have 10 million, like, I feel like I'm doing pretty good in that department. But yeah, that's essentially it. I'll see you guys in the next one. Let me know how many cubes you think we'll get in the missions. And then also, I think it's going to be 900 personally. And let me know, like, are you saving for Sukuna now? Like, what's going on with that? But overall, I'd say we're looking pretty chill. Absolutely living for Sukuna, right? Absolutely living. I'm super happy that he's coming. And I definitely think that if you want to save long game for, like, Domain Gojo and Sukuna, that's not a bad idea, because they're probably going to be different colors. If Sukuna is red, then this is going to throw everything out of the ballpark, but I'm not sure. It's going to be very weird if he is red. I don't think he will be. Anyway, I'll see you guys in the next one. Let me know what you think. Bye-bye.